Hello, it is May 10th, May 11th, something like that, and I've just been outside planting a bunch of my flower seedlings. I have a bunch more that I'm, bringing out and in to just get in the ground, get them to start growing. Things move really quickly. It went from too cold to perfect temperature and now is go time. I'm a little out of breath because I am not in the best shape. Honestly, I thought this year I would be so healthy, just dealing with a lot of emotions that I've been dealing with, a lot of mental health, but I haven't been. It's, I'm a little bit ashamed to say, but also that's just life. I've had a lot to deal with. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of grace, but just wanted to explain that is why I'm out of breath, because I've been standing up. I've just been going up and down the stairs, getting these plants out. I mean, it feels good to be out and about and moving and doing a lot of productive things. I mean, I have been quite busy these past few weeks, but just not as physically busy as I have to be right now. Let me show you. This is a tray. I had it outside. I just wanted to bring it in and quickly show you. I'll bring the camera out as well. I have a bunch of statice. They're red. The leaves are red because they've been out in a very sunny area. I don't know if that's too bad. I think it's just fine. They still look really healthy. I have a bunch more snapdragons. I have this one little 6-pack of straw flowers that I started, apricot straw flowers. I have some black prince snapdragons. They look a little sun bleached. Again, I had this in a very sunny area. I have these apple blossom snapdragons. These look quite wonky because I started to put them out a little bit too early, and the nights got a little bit too cold at some nights, and they just kind of flopped over. It happened with a few of my snapdragons, but they're all still healthy. They just don't have an upright main stem, which is fine. Again, out of breath just talking to you guys. And maybe it's also because I'm just quite excited. This is a very joyous time. I get to go out and put life into the ground. These seedlings that I started from seeds and have been taken care of for weeks and weeks now, and it's finally time for them to go in the ground. Hopefully they're going to start growing a lot quicker in the ground, and I'm just so excited to see the garden with everything in bloom. That will come later. I started to I saw my first anemone bloom start to open up. The stem is a little bit short. I think maybe that's because it gets too hot during the day. I'm starting to open up the sides now that everything has melted off. The poly film was kind of underneath a bunch of mulch that was frozen, and I was a bit too scared to just pull it out. I didn't want to rip anything, but I started to pull it out and it looks fine. So hopefully those can cool off a bit more, hopefully get longer stems and just be a little bit more productive. They don't like the intense heat, and it gets to be like 80 degrees if there's not great ventilation. Sometimes that zipper door kind of flaps shut. There's always still like an opening, but it doesn't always stay out the way I want it to. So when that happens, and when the sun is bright, when it's not a cloudy day, when it's a very sunny day, it gets really hot in there. I also want to tell you something exciting that I'm working towards, which is why I've been, quite busy these past few weeks. I think I am going to start selling at a farmer's market, at a local farmer's market. It's called Spinard Farmer's Market here in Anchorage. On Saturdays in the morning, 9:30 to 2:30 is when it's open. And I don't know, really, I don't know all of what to expect. I'm trying to be as prepared as I can. I am going to hope to go every Saturday throughout this week, but we'll just see what supplies, I have. If I have enough seedlings to do that, if my flowers come into bloom and are productive enough that I can have bouquets a little bit later on in the season. I'm very excited. I think I'll also have some baked goods there, like some floral themed baked goods. I've been experimenting with a few recipes. Last night I made lavender Earl Grey cookies, which are so good. So good. Like, Really sweet, really flavorful, but has also, it's a delicate floral flavor, so it's not so overpowering. It still feels kind of light. A lot of things I need to pot up and just make sure that they're healthy, and I still have to keep an eye on everything that I'm hardening off and make sure that they don't get, you know, sun scalded, because that won't look nice for plant sales. Make sure they're just being healthy and, you know, growing as best as they can. You know what, I'll dedicate another video just to setting up and preparing for the farmer's market and showing you all what I'm going to be taking. Hopefully I can also, you know, get some shots, some footage from the farmer's market itself. It starts on May 20th, so it's gonna be not this weekend, but the next weekend. Anyways, that will be another video. This video, I'm just gonna go out and be planting these flowers. Oh, also, I want to explain to you what I'm planting in. So I had the raised bed that I made from scrap, or that Brendan made from scrap last summer. I have a video on that. But also I started to do this no-dig bed right along the rest of the hoop house. It's not perfectly straight right now, but I'll get that straightened up. Basically, I just put down some cardboard. I put down a lot of unfinished compost. My composting hasn't been, you know, the best or the quickest, I should say. I do put pretty big chunks in there. And those take, you know, longer to compost, to break down. In the future, when I, you know, hopefully can spend more time focusing on getting a good composting system going, I'll break things down further so it can compost and, you know, turn into something very usable sooner. But this unfinished compost, still usable. I'm gonna put this at the bottom of this bed, just over the top of the cardboard. And then I added some raised bed mix on top. I'm gonna leave the edges pretty rough. I'm not even, you know, I don't even know if it's a straight line. It looks a little bit crooked when I look at it from our deck. But I really just want to have a space that I can start planting in, at least in the center, and I'll figure out the edges as I go when I have time. I don't know if I'm trying to, as best as I can, keep all the varieties of flowers together with themselves, so all the snapdragons kind of together, at least all the colors together as well, but I don't think I'm doing the greatest job at that. I don't know exactly how it's gonna look when everything's in bloom. Hopefully it won't look bad, because they're still all very beautiful flowers, but I'm not putting too much effort into kind of color blocking or knowing, you know, putting the flowers that look great together next to each other, at least for this year. Hopefully in future years I'll get a better hang of it and just have things more planned and prepared going into it. So I'm just planting things as I see space, availability, the things that I know I want to get planted in the ground. I'm just trying to get everything in there. I have some other spaces in the backyard that I know I can plant in. I just have to, you know, systematically go through and make sure it's all ready for planting. There's still a lot of debris that I have to clear up. So I'm just gonna catch my breath, maybe go get a glass of water, and then I'll meet you guys out there.